Hi guys, it's Lynn here. Hope everyone is having a cactus powered day. Now today I'm going to be repotting my Pilosocereus gounellei cactus plant, which is this wonderful multiple armed gorgeous little cactus here, and it's in much need of a repot. As you can see, there's a little pot and it's grown quite a lot over the past couple of years when I last repotted it. And this is one of my sort of favourite types of Pilosocereus cacti because it's sort of special with its lovely arms coming out, almost like a miniature type of saguaro. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I've got the next size pot up here. And I've also got a spare pot here. The reason being, because this is very spiny, I'm going to be using that to put over the top of it when I'm handling it. So to protect my hands. Very important when you're handling very spiny cacti that you protect your hands. I often use either pieces of newspaper wrapped around my hands or pieces of thin cardboard to use as well to stop myself from getting bitten by these spiny fellas. But sometimes I don't use anything at all on my hands if it's not too spiny cacti. But this one is a spiny one, so that's why I'm going to be using this. And I've made the soil mix up here. It's a mix of 3 equal parts of loam, L-O-A-M, horticultural sharp sand, and pumice at 3 equal parts. And the loam-based soil I've used is John Innes number 2. And I put some already at the bottom of this pot here. And what I'll be doing then is taking it out, checking the root system over, loosening any of the old soil off, and then putting it into the new pot. And I've made a complete video on how to repot a cactus where I show 2 examples in that video. One is a barrel cactus and one is a columnar, another type of Pilosocereus as well, funny enough, in that video. So we'll go into more detail on that, on how to repot a cactus. So do check that video out if you haven't done already. It's quite a few years ago now when I made it. Links will be up above and down below in the video description. And I say I've made so many different types of repotting, different types of cacti on this channel. So also check out the playlist on repotting and all that I've got. But this is just going to be more of a video vlog with repotting this guy. So here we go. As I say, I've mentioned the soil and everything, and now I'm going to get him out of the pot and check over his root system. Now, as I mentioned, I'm using this other pot here just to put onto this to handle it. So first I'm going to loosen up the root ball. And plastic pots are much easier than clay pots, but I show examples of how to get them out of clay pots and plastic pots in my how to repot a cactus video. Take the label off there. That's loosened up now. This I'm going to be using this pot just to put over the top, just to protect my hands, as I say, just on there, just to loosen it out so I don't have to touch it. Hey, pot. There we go. And hope you can see. Yeah, you can see it. Now, also, spoons come in handy as well for lifting up without touching them. And I'm just going to move the camera stand around so you can see what I'm doing a little bit better here. This is the root system here. And I mention in all of my videos when I repot cacti and succulents, it's always good to check the root system over. Reason being is insect pests, especially things like vine weevil grubs and root mealybug, which is a real pest with cacti, often are on roots if you don't check them properly. Now I just want to mention that this is actually pumice on here and perlite and that, so it's not root mealybug, but root mealybug often looks similar. It's like little woolly deposits, but you'll know the difference between something like that, for example, which is clearly pumice and perlite, than root mealybug, because root mealybug, when you squeeze it, it gives off a juice. Sounds disgusting, and it's also quite woolly looking. And usually root mealybug, you see at the end of the roots. Here you can see no signs other than just perlite and things. Now, what I'm going to do here is, when it comes to repotting cacti, I actually like not to touch. I like to touch the roots as less as possible, because if they get damaged, which is sometimes inevitable when you're repotting, and then it can distress the cactus as well. And but at the same time, this is quite root bound, so I want to gently loosen the root system a little bit, take some of the old soil away, just very gently tease. And it's good to do this because you know, you can put this straight into a new pot, but I personally find my experience, if you can loosen up the roots a little bit without doing too much harm, then it will acclimatise into the new soil better. I'm using practically the same type of soil I used when I repotted it the last time anyway, so no issues there. And also when I repot my cacti, I don't water them for at least a week to 10 days. And the reason for that is because obviously, as you can see now, I'm having to loosen up these roots just a little bit, just to loosen them up so they take better to the soil. And it's inevitable you're going to cause a little bit of root damage. And if I was to just pot this up then and just water it straight away, it's possible the cactus could rot because damaged roots will not take up water, and cacti are very prone to rotting in them conditions. So that's why I like to keep it dry for about a week to 10 days, just to as I say, allow the roots, any damaged roots, to properly heal up. And also I personally prefer to repot cacti during the spring, summer or the early fall. I don't like to do it in winter, but many growers I know prefer to repot their cacti and succulents in winter when everything else is pretty dormant. They just pot it up in dry soil, leave it then, and don't water then till the following spring. They like to do them type of jobs over the winter, but personally, in my experience, I wouldn't recommend it. But each to their own. There's no right and wrong if it works for you. No. So it's not going to do too much here. I've just loosened it up a little bit. I'm going to leave that there because I know if I do any more, it's going to probably damage. So I'm just going to leave it. There's enough. It's going to easily go into the new soil. As I say, it's sort of late summer now anyway, so there'll be no problem. And then gently taking away some of the old soil. Now, done that. So what I'm going to be doing now is, as I say, I've already got the bit of soil at the bottom of the new pot there, which is good. And then I'm going to just move the stand across so you can see what I'm doing here. Put that over there so I don't have to handle this spiny guy. And then move this across here, very carefully easing that into the pot here, and making sure it's pretty central into the pot. Just move that a bit up so you can see a bit better. That's it. And now I'm going to be putting the soil here around the edges. Making sure you get all the soil down the sides. Turn it around if needed. Turning it around a little bit more. Gently making sure the soil gets all around the sides of the pot. Gently pressing it down. You don't want to press too hard where you can cause any damage to the roots, but you want to make sure that the soil is all firm and the cactus doesn't fall out of its pot. And this is good, a blunt end of a spoon there as well, just to tap any down. So good to give the pot a bit of a tap to make sure the soil goes down, and then topping it up a bit more. Sit topped up a bit more soil, gently pressing down here. Now all I need to do now is put a bit of top dressing on. In this case I'm going to use a bit of pumice just to finish it off. This isn't a necessity of course, but I just like to put a bit of top dressing on. I think it looks nice and finishes off the plant nice. That's the plant all potted up and top dressing on, and it looks a lot better. As I say, that was the small little pot before, and now it's going to have a chance to thrive. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and all your support. And for lots more tips and tricks on how you can care for and grow cacti and succulents, then please do subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to click that notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload new videos. You can also follow me on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook at Desert Plants of Avalon. And for more growing tips as well on how to care for and grow cacti and succulents, check my website out for lots of tips on there, and also regular blogs on caring for individual types of cacti at desertplantsofavalon.com. I want to send you loads of love, heaps of happiness, and tons of funky, crazy cactus power from across the Emerald Isle. And until my next video, bye!